Thank you all for tuning in to episode 1 of Bubbly Banter Podcast. I am your host, Sierra Mendoza, and I am so excited to be on this journey with you all. This is something that I have been looking forward to doing for a few years now, actually. And I've had several friends actually ask me, what made you want to make a podcast? So, Bubbly Banter is the name of the podcast, obviously. And it really was just designed to be more of a safe space to go at the end of the day or while you're on drives to work, wherever, to the gym even. Just something to be invested in, to have a fun time, to relax, to laugh, to just de-stress at the end of the day. And I wanted to do that because I've always wanted to create. I've wanted to make content since probably 2016, but I was always too shy. I was always like, I don't want anyone that I know to hear this and be like, okay, what is she doing? But now that I am going to be 26 in 2 weeks, I'm like, if I don't do it now, then when? And it's all about taking chances. I really am just truly doing this for myself more than anything. It's something for me to embrace as a hobby, but it's something that I am genuinely happy that I am doing. So with that being said, today's episode is going to be about getting to know me. And my name is Sierra Mendoza. I am from a very small town called Friona, Texas. If you've never heard of it, I don't blame you. And I'm going to kind of start off this, get to know me with some Q&As that I've received from social media. And thank you all for submitting questions for me to answer. That really does mean a lot. And the first question I'm going to go with is, what made you start a podcast? So that one's kind of an easy one for me. And it's really just because I love to talk. Anyone who knows me personally knows I will talk your ears off if you let me. And that's okay. But I really just wanted to start a podcast because I genuinely enjoy listening to other people's podcasts, whether it's like Crime Junkies or Insanely Chill with Cody Ko or even Circle Time with Kelsey Kreppel. Those are all really good podcasts, by the way. Whoa, That's Good podcast is super great too. And Morbid. Those are a few to just name several of them. I love listening to stories. I love listening to people's advice, as well as giving advice. And I thought, you know what? This podcast is going to be designed for whatever really, I guess, I want to post that day. It's not going to have a specific genre. And I actually got that question a lot too, is, hey, so what's going to be the theme? There isn't really one. And the reason for that is just because, again, this is just going to be a safe space to come to. You don't know what you're going to get with my podcast episodes that day. And I think that's my favorite part. So it can be anywhere from me talking about boba, anime, ramen, to my walk with Christ, relationship advice, skincare, my story times from the past. So episode 2 is actually going to be a fun one. It's going to be called Green Eggs and Ham Hair. And that is going to be a traumatic story to share, but it's so funny now. I mean, this was back in 2018, but it was so traumatizing and it's super funny to laugh at now. So I can't wait to share that with y'all in episode 2. But yeah, I wanted to make a podcast to kind of just give myself that, the opportunity to do what I've always wanted to do, which is create. So whether that was like TikTok, YouTube, I chose podcasting because I don't think I actually have the time it takes to vlog. I really wanted to do that starting into 2024, but I found out that I think podcasting is a little bit more in my style. So I'm very excited to keep engaging with all of you. All right, and there's another one. Let's see. What was it like moving far away from friends and family? Oh man, okay, so it was tough. I'm not going to lie. I mean, living in the DFW area is not my first big move. It's definitely my furthest move, I want to say. But my first big move would be Oklahoma City. And I love the city, you guys. I mean, I miss my family and friends all the time. Do not get me wrong. But I definitely love the city. I love being around all the entertainment. I love exploring. I love it all. There's nothing about it that I hate except for the traffic. Oh my gosh. If you're ever in the DFW area, like, you understand how real that is. It's so insanely stupid how freaking how my anxiety just goes up whenever I'm driving. I was telling Trevor the other day. Trevor is my boyfriend, for all who do not know. He is the love of my life. Shout out to you. I was telling Trevor the other day, I was like, you know what? I need a bumper sticker that says, "Bestie, please let me merge before I cry." And it's so true. It's so real, you guys. Like, my anxiety is just through the roof on the roads out there. And I'm always praying. I'm like, God, please let me make it home today. I just want one more day. But it's so true. I mean, but other than that, I love it. I miss my family all the time. I miss my siblings. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. And I miss all of my friends back at home. So if y'all are listening to this, I love y'all and I miss y'all. Let's see. Are you still in school? And if so, what are you going for? Okay, so right now I am not in school, which has been definitely needed. Oh my goodness, you guys. If you know me, I was in school for 7 years after graduating in 2016. And I hated every single year of it. I did, including being in school for dental assisting. Oh my gosh, was that a nightmare? I got through it though. And I am still currently a dental assistant now of 6 years. In May it'll be 6 years. So, big pat on the back to myself, because it is not easy bending and breaking your back in all sorts of directions just to function, really. So, I'll have an episode about that if y'all would like to hear more on what it's like to be a dental assistant. But I am going to be returning to school sometime this year for real estate. So they have an academy you can join that I believe you can get your real estate license in like 2 to 3 months. So I'm excited to do that because dentistry is just not my long-term goal. And I'm excited to take that extra step in like being my own boss and promoting myself, getting my name out there. So I'm very excited to, start that new journey. Let's see. Another question that I was asked. What are your favorite places in town? Okay, so actually I'm excited about this one. I love this place called Churro on Top. We literally just went last night, and the owner, the sweetest thing, her and her whole staff were just busting their butts to give the best customer service. And you guys, it is really hard in this area to find people who are genuinely passionate about their job, but on top of that, they want to actually give good customer service. So if you're ever in town, please check them out. What they do is they make milkshakes and they place churros inside of them. And like the churros, I think they have like 15 different flavors. And then the milkshakes have so many flavors as well that you can just pair them together. And oh my God, like the presentation of everything is just beautiful. I literally went up to the owner last night and to whoever designed my milkshake, and I was like, you guys, I can't eat this. It's too beautiful. Like I really can't. So like shout out to Churro on Top for just being amazing. The owner kind of shared her personal backstory on how she came to opening up this shop, and it was truly just it was such a beautiful story. And it was kind of like one of those God makes everything happen in your life for a reason kind of story, because it was heartbreaking, but it was also her way of finding peace throughout that heartbreak. So I'm sorry I forgot your name, but if you ever hear this, shout out to you for being so amazing at what you do. And another place that we love to go to is, I believe it's called Piranha Ramen Shop. I will have to get the name of that and share it sometime with you guys, but it's so good. We're going there tonight actually, and we are going to eat some ramen. It's so cool too. The environment's like awesome. You can like go and sit at the bar and eat and watch anime play above you, and like that, if that doesn't shout Sierra's like dream environment, I don't know what does. Because if you know me, I love to drink wine and I love watching a good anime. So that is another one of my favorite spots in town. And I think another one, to just name one more, would be this area called Grandscape where you can go. They have outdoor scenery, a big area where you can like bring your family, you can like sit back and watch concerts that go on there. And then you can also like bring volleyballs, frisbees, whatever you want. And you can just like make it a family day. It's so, so cool. And then they have like a puttery place. They have a virtual game room area, go-karting. Like they have all this fun stuff involved in that area. And it's just so much fun. So we genuinely enjoy going there every now and then when we can. And I think we might even try and make a trip up there in the next few weekends. I don't know. All right, so what is your workout and skincare tips? Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Working out, I wish I could be like a workout influencer and tell you guys like, hey, this is what I recommend. But I am so new to working out again and again and again and again. And I will say that every single year because I am one of those people that's like, this year is going to be my year. This year I'm going to be a model. This year I'm going to get that dream body. I'm going to have a Kardashian booty. But no, it never happens. And Trevor is helping me stay accountable for that. I have, however, ordered some more workout equipment to have at home because we do have a little area in Trevor's garage that we will work out in. And it's been great. So I have recently ordered a hip thrust machine to help me get that little booty glutes going. And I also have a mini stepper. I don't know if y'all have heard of the mini stepper going viral on TikTok, but I have one of those and me and Trevor both use it and we love it. He takes his up to the extremes though, and he'll put on a weighted vest and he will just like get grinding on that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like you do you, brother, but I am going to set it to the lowest setting and I am going to just walk it out perfectly fine. But, yeah, I love that thing. And then I'm going to order an ab glider pretty soon to kind of like keep me accountable for some core workouts. But I would say workout tips, just like make sure you get yourself a good amount of reps and make sure you stick to your sets. Push yourself, really, really push yourself to get through it because that's probably my biggest thing is that if I get tired or if I'm like, okay, this is getting too heavy, I don't push myself near enough as I'd like to finish that whole set. And I'll even cut my reps short. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to commit to it, make sure you also discipline yourself because discipline is a huge factor. I mean, you have to discipline yourself to get out there, to get it done, and to not slack off in between. Definitely give yourself some breaks though. Don't just jump from workout to workout. Make sure you stay hydrated. Give yourself the breaks if you need it. And then get back to it. You've got this. I mean, think about the end goal. The end goal is your dream body, your dream health journey. I mean, it doesn't have to be all about your body, but even if you're just trying to be more healthy, definitely think about that and keep that in the back of your mind whenever you feel like giving up. Like, hey, no, I've got this. I am strong, I am able, and I am capable. You know what I mean? But also your diet is a huge factor. So make sure that you are also, I wouldn't say like a calorie deficit, but just make sure you're doing what your body needs because everybody's body is different. I'm personally doing a calorie deficit for myself because I know that I have issues when it comes to going back for seconds or thirds even. I mean, my stepmom can be my witness. She will literally tell my dad, like, where does she put it? Like, she's got thirds? Where is she putting it? Oh my goodness, Michael, this is not okay. And I agree so much. But no, I mean, now that I'm going to be approaching my late 20s, it is something I need to start focusing on because your metabolism does slow down. Sorry, I'm starting to stutter. It does slow down. So just make sure, you're eating healthier. I'm not going to say just fixate on a healthy diet because you do have to treat yourself to the finer things in life. But really and truly, just stick to your workouts as best as you can. Do not give up on yourself. Stay hydrated. Make sure you stretch. Oh my goodness, I cannot express to you. Stretching is key, y'all. If you don't think you need to stretch, you're lying to yourself. It is key. Okay, y'all, I'm going to move on to the skincare tips. So if you know me, you know I have acne-prone skin. And it has been something that's been a part of my life since I was like 12 years old. I actually remember the very first time I got called out on having acne, and it was like in junior high, and I was walking down the hallway entering school, and one of my friends was like, Sierra, you have a big zit on your forehead. And then I mean, I'm pretty sure this didn't happen, but like in my mind, everyone just like stared at me and started laughing and pointing their fingers. And again, like that didn't happen, but that's what it felt like in my soul had happened. And ever since then, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm ugly. And let me just tell you right now, if you have acne, that does not make you ugly. If anything, I completely feel you though. It is something that you are insecure about, because I'm not going to sit here and say my acne does not make me insecure. Not everyone is insecure though when it comes to their flaws. And I give a big applause to you. But for the other girlies or guys out there that do have struggles with acne prone skin and do get insecure, just know you're not alone. And here's my tips on how to get through it. I invested in a salicylic acid exfoliating face wash. I am also on the cheap side when it comes to skincare. So I use the Equate brand at Walmart, and you guys, it works perfectly fine, because I was using Mary Kay for a while and that stuff was just adding up. I think I was spending like $30 a month on skincare, and I was like, no, I don't have that kind of budget, sweetheart. So I invested in salicylic acid exfoliating face wash from Walmart, and then I also invested in a benzoyl peroxide cream. And what I do in the mornings is I will wash my face, and then I use a biodegradable towel. So those, I actually found out recently, are really good for your skin, because you're not using just another solid towel that you don't wash every single day or don't have the time to wash, and then you just keep drying your face and you're spreading that bacteria. So if I can encourage you all to do one thing, it's buy some biodegradable towels. Like, really invest in those, because I have noticed a difference in my skin already, and it's still not perfect, but I'm seeing progress. Sorry, you guys, I've been having to hold back some burps, so I apologize. But yeah, I do that, and then I will put some snail mucin on, and of course everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, you're one of those girls, like, do you know how to be original? Guys, I do what works, and that stuff has changed my skin for like the better. My texture is so much better. I won't say it's perfect, because again, my skin is just not what it is. It's not what I want it to be. But I do use the snail mucin, and then I go in with some benzoyl peroxide cream once the snail mucin dries. And I just place little dots. That's all you need, is just like maybe a dot on your forehead, chin, and then the cheek areas, and you just blend it out. After that, I will go in with some scar cream, and you can use any scar cream. I actually don't remember the name off the top of my head of the one I use. I've been using it since I was 13. I want to say 13, maybe even like 16. I don't know. And it has been working really, really well for my skin. So it does take time. I will say, do not be hard on yourself if you develop scars, because they do fade over time. So that's my biggest problem, is my face is so scarred up right now. And it's really discouraging, because when I don't have makeup on, I'm just like, ugh, like, ew, who put you on this planet? Ugh. And it's like, it's not that bad. But just know, like, over time, it will get better. It will heal. And yeah, just keep pushing through. And so the last step I will do is I will place moisturizer on top. And right now I'm using the e.l.f., I believe it's the Holy Hydration moisturizer. I think I'm going to switch back to the La Roche, because this one, I don't know. It has like peptide and hyaluronic acid, and I think my skin's not a huge fan of it, but I'm going to finish the product. Just because I invested that money into it already. But those are my skincare tips. And you know what? Have fun with it too. You know what I mean? Like, you can't control your face. You can't control your skin. So I will tell Trevor, whenever I get a new pimple, I actually have one growing like right above my lip right now. I'll be like, hey babe, Zythia's back in town, and I'm just having fun with it. I'm like, I got a new little friend, Zythia. And then whenever it's gone and I have a scar, I'm like, oops, Scarlett's here. And I mean, like, it's just my way of coping with like my flaws, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so let's see. Do I have another question? Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? Yes, I know the Muffin Man, who lives on Drury Lane. Oh my gosh. Mario, I love you. I can't stand you though. I am. And yeah, I called you out. I called you out for sending that question in. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's one. When are you having a baby? All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about my relationship status before I dive right into that question. And you're just like, oh, okay. So me and Trevor, my boyfriend, we have been exclusive going on almost 2 years now. And we are in it for, the long run. We don't plan on splitting anytime soon. We have been talking about engagement and getting married. We know it's going to happen this year. It's not like I'm not in the loop. So I know by the end of 2024, I will be engaged. We will be engaged. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I just cannot wait. Oh my goodness, I will marry that man today if he asked me to. And so we plan on getting engaged this year, and then we are also going to elope. And once we are a little bit more financially stable, we are going to invest in a wedding down the road. So I'm very excited for 2024 and what it holds for us. And I will very happily say that there will not be a baby in 2024, or at least a planned baby. We don't plan on having a child in the next year or two, but we do plan on having children someday. So hopefully that answers your question. Maybe in the next 2 to 3 years, there will be, a little mini Sierra or Trevor running around. But yeah, you guys, that's a little bit about me. And thank you all for, just like being a part of this and really allowing me to kind of just go for it when it comes to something that I love. And next episode, I'm going to do that story time that I mentioned before. And this one, I hope y'all enjoyed. It was really just to get to know me. Something that I am going to do after every single episode is I am going to go ahead and read a story off of Reddit from the categories, Am I the A-hole? I don't know if any of y'all have actually heard of it, but for the ones who have, I hope y'all are like, oh, heck yeah, this is going to be so much fun. So I've been saving a few, and I'm just going to pick a random one. We're going to read it together. It may suck. It may be great. Who knows? I'm doing this for the first time just as y'all are hearing it. And you know what? I don't want y'all to give me no crap if I stutter, because I have anxiety, you guys, and it's so real. Because it's so real. And whenever I am reading, I can't tell you, me and Trevor will be reading the Bible together, and I will stutter. I mean, he stutters worse than me because he has dyslexia. Shout out, baby. And that's okay. But whenever I stutter, I get in my head about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, idiot. You're so dumb. How could you stutter on that word? So I'm very hard on myself in certain areas of my own characteristics. But it really goes back to high school, because in high school, we had to go around a room in one of my history classes, and we had to take turns reading out of the history book. And I would get so anxious, you guys. I would get so anxious whenever it would get to me. I'd be like, I really don't want to read. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And then I would always jack it up every single time without fail. I would either go too fast, or I would go too slow, or I would just stutter and give up. I think my hand, if you're watching on the video, my hand started twitching for a second, because it's already building up that anxiety just thinking about high school Sierra having to stutter. Okay, so the Reddit that I'm going to read today, let's see. All right, the title of this one is, Am I the a-hole for giving my sister-in-law 3 days notice that I would no longer make a cake for her daughter's 3rd birthday after finding out she and her parents told others my history? All right. This sounds interesting, so let's go in. Okay, so I am a 28-year-old female, and I love to bake, and I will often make cakes and stuff for friends, and since I met my in-laws in 2018, for them as well. My sister-in-law asked me to bake her daughter's birthday cake for her birthday this weekend. This was back in October, and we discussed that she wanted in detail. It's not my first time making her cakes, but it is my first time as her sister-in-law officially, and where I felt like I was truly part of the family. 3 days ago, I was out grocery shopping and I ran into a family friend of my in-laws. This person is not someone I like very much. She's a bad gossip and seems to have some malice in her while sharing gossip about others. Okay. I try to be polite to everyone, and normally I don't talk to her, but she stopped me and went out of her way to ask me when my husband and I are having kids. Then she mentioned me being a foster kid and an affair baby, and she did it in a way that was meant to come across as actual concern, but was really her being intrusive and cruel. She mentioned that my in-laws and sister-in-law were concerned about our kids not having anybody. So I told my husband when he got home from work, and I was just a mess. It might seem dumb, but I felt like his family betrayed the trust I put in them, and they did the one thing they were asked not to do, which was tell people about my history. It's not something I want to broadcast to everyone who knows me. My husband confronted his parents and sister, and they said they only mentioned it to a few close circle of people, and they defended it when my husband said that wasn't okay. Sister-in-law said it's not like people wouldn't find out eventually, and asked her how they wouldn't find out if we never told them. My history is that both my parents were married to others and had children with their other spouses when they had an affair with each other, and I ended up being the result. Both sets of first children were technically adults or close to it when I was born. The day before my 5th birthday, we were in the car together and it crashed. My parents died, and so did the people in the other car. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. I was the only survivor, and I was in hospital for a few weeks after. Nobody in either of my parents' family wanted me, and I was brought up in foster care for the rest of my life. I never found a family. Aww. After hearing sister-in-law say what she did, and realized how unapologetic they were, and hearing how little they cared about what they did to me, I asked if I could speak to sister-in-law for a sec, and told her not to expect a cake from me after going against what I wanted and having such little care for the harm it caused. She went crazy and said it was only 3 days until the birthday party, and my husband backed me up and said, so what? She and her parents then were blowing up his phone so bad that he had to block them and worry that I'm being a bit of an a-hole, saying no with such short notice. So, am I the a-hole? Alrighty, sis. So, no, ma'am, you are not the a-hole. I believe you handled that better than most would, including myself, because, you just refusing to make a cake, I think I would have gone further. I think I would have, tried to ruin her life. No, I'm totally kidding. No, but seriously, that was not cool. That was, actually super not chill of her to do that, because that was not her place. That was none of her business. And the fact that she was so okay with airing out your laundry and having no remorse for that, what the heck? It's like if you were to go and start just telling people her business, how would she feel? You know what I mean? She didn't even bother considering your feelings or putting herself in your position. And on top of that, she was basically trying to defend the fact as to why she outed you like that. Oh, they were going to find out eventually. Well, how though? If we were never planning on telling them, how would they have found that out? Enlighten me. No, you know what? Kudos to you for sticking your ground and not getting her a cake for her kid's birthday. And you know what? Selfishly, I hope that was a bad day, but not for the kid, just for the mom. I hope she stressed out a little, because that's just, no, you just don't do that. Okay, there's your daily reminder. Be a kind human. Be kind to your, in-laws, your sister and brother-in-laws, all of them. Just be nice to them. Be nice to anyone you come across. It's not that hard to be a good human and to respect people's boundaries. Seriously. But okay, whatever. Alrighty, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for episode 1 of Bubbly Banter Podcast, and I cannot wait to release episode 2. And you can catch this podcast on Spotify as of right now, exclusively. And I'm going to do my best to figure out how to get my podcast out there on other platforms. But until then, thank you all. I love y'all, and I can't wait to see who all attends in the next one. Bye.